Spar brings you super savings. Get Pampers Active Baby Nappies or Nappy Pants Value Pack for $169.99. Save 79 Emalangeni. 750ml Sunlight Dishwashing Liquid Refill for $24.99. Save 5 Emalangeni. Or 200-gram Baker's Blue Label Murray Biscuits. Buy any two for 30. Save 14 Emalangeni.
And once again, on that special day, on a Thursday, we talk about sporting activities in the land. The biggest occasion, it is what we are all waiting for. It is the 7th edition of the Imbowe Marathon, one of the biggest races on the African continent, potentially the biggest in the region, and it is, of course, with no doubt, the biggest race in the country. We'll have the spokesperson of the which is the organization that is in charge of the race, Mr. Mlungisi, just to get the ins and out and the preparations of the race. What are the expectations? Tell you what, the numbers have hit a different twist now. We'll talk about that and what is on the ground come Saturday. And now things have changed. Being held on Saturday, it has a lot to offer. We'll talk about other details that include also this past weekend where we saw the workshop of the coaches. We'll talk about also other sporting cause, including also the upcoming, CAF Champions League games when Singers and Hospers are expected to host the Simba FC side from Tanzania, one of the biggest giants in the CAF Champions League in the country, or rather on the continent of Africa. And then at some point also, we'll also touch on the M10 Premier League that will resume after the FIFA break that we are just from experiencing. So all that is going to be here, but the most important topic is that major, full marathon, the Imbowe Marathon that is taking place this coming Saturday. So Velkona Mlungisi from the ANPF, the organization that is in charge of organizing this race. Tell you what, it doesn't get any better. When you talk about this, it's when you want to show your character and you want to show your potential as an athlete, wherever you come from. Mlungisi, once again, this evening, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. We're feeling ready. Maybe some people watching at home. Yeah.
You must be tired, Mlungisi. It's when it's this time of the year, preparing for Imbowe, a lot comes in hand in terms of preparing, in terms of ensuring that everything comes to order. How far have you gone now?
We had our final meeting today. Yeah. Tired is an understatement, but we are also very excited. This is the biggest one yet. It promptly sold out.
Okay.
I think it's the first one we've actually sold out like way before, like a month before the close of registration. So it shows a lot of enthusiasm from the runners. So this one is very big and there's a lot of excitement.
Talking about this one being big, I mean, we've experienced 6th edition in the past. And I'm glad to say Swatini TV have in the past been in charge of bringing you live 3 to 4 editions that in the past edition. And this coming Saturday, once again, Swatini TV, with no doubt, we make sure that wherever you are, you get a chance to experience what will be happening. Before maybe we get into the numbers, the expectation, the athletes to attend, what's new this year? What has changed from other editions? What can we expect that we've never seen in the previous 6 editions?
Nothing much has changed except maybe some safety protocols that have been put in place. One of them being the redirection of the 10 kilometer. Those that have been with us for the 7 years will remember that when the marathon started, we were running from the 10 kilometer went in front of Gables and then it came back behind Gables, taking the Mantenga route. But what we've realized is that and we're advised by our technicians that it's not safe when they cross the bridge. You know, that small bridge, footbridge, before water. To have all 3 races and the large group of people from the 10-kilometer crossing that bridge at the same time. So we would try to thin them out. And the way that we found that we can use to thin them out is for them to go in front of cables first. Then by the time they get to that footbridge, they would already be thinned out and maybe in a straight line. And it's much safer for our runners to be that way, because some would then try to jump over the bridge. Yeah.
We've seen what has happened in the past, and I think at some point we get a chance to see some of the visuals just showing the previous edition. But then the numbers are always something to talk about. I mean, are we referring to last year we had close to over 4,000 runners taking part of this year from that last year's edition? In this year's edition, when you talk about numbers, where are we standing as a country?
Okay, last year we were around 4.8, we were close to 5,000. And then this year we are around 5.9. We are very close to 6,000. And remember, people are still registering. I'm talking about numbers that we haven't closed. We still have tomorrow, which is the final day. So people are still coming in and trying to register, downgrading and upgrading. So the numbers are very impressive. By the time we had finished the first registration period, which was end of June, we realized that we are about to sell out the tickets, and mid-registration would have no registrations actually. So we ended up adding about 1,000 more slots to encourage more people to participate, and those also sold out within a month.
This is what I like. We just saw a snip of some of the things. We get in touch at some point, but now we know we have got different categories. The 42, which is the highest, and the demand was there to say, can you extend it a little bit longer, make it a big event, maybe to say the registration doesn't close early as expected. But are there any changes within the 42 kilometers? Did you get the number the way you want it? Is it higher from last year as edition?
It's definitely higher. Last year our target was 600. This year we have almost 1,000 runners. So
just 42?
Just 42. So that's a 400 increase. We're like an increase of 400 runners just for the 42. Yeah.
And we talk about 42. I mean, we've seen other distances, including this is maybe, I think, a 21. So my question also comes to say, within those 400 that have maybe increased from last year's edition, would you want to say, for instance, in terms of now international athletes that have registered for this year's edition, within 42, have they increased?
Yes, they've definitely increased. I mean, most of the international runners come for the 42. Some of them come for the 21.
The serious competition.
Yeah, exactly. They want the 42. So if you have people who are flying in from the United States, we've got 2 runners coming in from New York. Those guys are not going to fly all this way for the 10 or the 21. They're coming for the 42. You've got people from Cape Town. Those people are definitely in the 42.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've had, these are the numbers, we've had before some coming from as far as Kenya and Morocco. And this time around, I hear that you have to cross the US to get some runners taking part of this year's competition. Talk about also countries that you wouldn't expect to be here from Europe. That's a big appearance.
Yeah, the race is growing in a very healthy way. I mean, we've got a very diverse portfolio of international runners. I've got one from Botswana, one from Morocco. I think it's the first time we have a runner from Morocco. You've got 95 Mozambicans, our neighbors. We've got almost 250 South Africans coming from Mpumalanga, Gauteng, different areas of South Africa, some as far as Limpopo, but yeah. So it's a very diverse portfolio. You've got Zimbabweans, a lot of Zimbabweans coming in, yeah.
No one from Ethiopia or Eritrea?
I'm still waiting for the Ethiopians to come and join the marathon. Yeah, I was hoping this year we'd get an Ethiopian because they're supposed to be some of the best runners in the world. Yeah.
Okay. I think this is an area where majority like to be a part of. This is mostly the 10. And what are the numbers looking like? This is the average race that I would say everyone feels like, you know, I haven't been on the road for a while, but I can fit in.
Okay. What I can say about the 10 is in 2016, when we had our first marathon, I think it was the Prince of Wales edition, the city to city. We had about total runners, we had 2,762 total runners in the marathon. The 10, this year we have about 3,200 runners just for the 10.
Okay.
So you can imagine the kind of growth that the 10 has seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the sake of the 42, I think the athletes are always ensuring that nothing has changed. So the route is still the same. We leave Somhlolo, come up to Mbabane, just pass by the police station, go down, passing the industrial site, we go back again Malagwane, straight to the Obamba.
Nothing has changed for the 42. Nothing has changed for the 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's only the 10 that has changed.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, the direction. Still the same 10.
Okay.
But it's just the direction that it goes in.
Close to 6,000. What a number. Now, there's a second part where we normally see some of the, politicians, country representative in terms of, figures and everything. They do join us at some point later. When we talk about the aerobics. Do we have aerobics even this year where people just have to stretch their muscles at Somhlolo?
Yes, we definitely have aerobics, and we do encourage. We get this question a lot, like, what if I'm not a runner, but I'd like to participate, I'd like to see what happens. We welcome people to come to the stadium and join even in the aerobics.
The beauty of this, look at that.
Yes, the nation in sync together with their majesties. So yeah, it's a very beautiful event.
Government officials, politicians, different figures in attendance. And then I think it says a lot about the race. And then let's talk about the presentation in terms of prizes. After this aerobics, normally you do have those presentations. But then I want to talk about the insight of when you are in Swati and you are the number one, do you still have that
majestic bonus?
Majestic bonus?
Yes, you still do. Yeah.
Can you take us through it? If you're a foreigner, how much do you get? If Swati, how much do you get? Both male and female category.
Okay, now Swati, you basically get for number one in the 42, it's 35,000 emalangeni.
Okay.
But if you happen to be Swati that gets at number one, then the majestic bonus is double that amount.
Okay.
So you walk away with 70,000 emalangeni. Okay. So it's male and female. All the races are separated. The category, the genders are separate. We don't mix here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. I can hope that
this applies to the 21 and the 10.
Yeah.
The first Liswati also gets double.
Oh, that's beautiful. And now let's talk about the changes on Saturday. Have you checked the weather conditions? Last year the weather was perfect. Nothing changed. I'm sure you've checked, Mlungisi, to say how are things looking like in terms of weather conditions?
I hope it stays like the weather was this morning, where it was just overcast and a little bit of drizzle. Well, at Somhlolo when we were there.
Okay. So the afternoon weather today worried you to say if things are to be like this.
If the rain picks up, it becomes a problem.
Let's talk about also the goodie bags. I'm sure from yesterday up to today and tomorrow, athletes continue to, make sure that they pick them, or you have to wait on the morning of the race?
No, we're still open at Happy Valley tomorrow, which will be the final day of collection. We start at 10 a.m. We'll close at 9-10 p.m. And then tomorrow is also the day when we'll have our strapping. If you have a small or slight injury, there's tape, athletic tape that they put on you.
Okay, I see.
So it's sponsored.
It's bluish,
it's
white.
Bluish, yes. Yeah. It prevents your injury from spreading. So at Happy Valley, where we'll be doing goodie bag collection, you can also get free strapping sponsored by ENPF. So you don't have to pay anything. You just collect your goodie bag, and then you go get some strapping for free and get ready for the morning after. Yeah.
All right. Now we're leaving Mlungisi, a message to the athletes, to Eswatini. Whoever will be watching, remember, Eswatini TV is going to bring you the race live here on number one channel, your number one channel, Eswatini TV. Let's talk about the partnership with Eswatini TV. You've been doing this with Eswatini TV to make sure that people do watch this race live.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we are very grateful for the relationship that we've built over the years.
Okay.
I think we've always had a good relationship for the 7th edition. Okay. For the 7 editions of the marathon, but for the past 2 years, we were able to broadcast it live. Okay. Well, last year and then this year.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's helping us even grow the marathon, because when you stream it on your digital platforms, YouTube, even people that are as far as America, we're getting a diverse group of internationals are able to watch it live. So we're very grateful for that partnership.
Watching this young man called Mangoba, who eventually was the winner last year. Let's hope that he's another Lesotho who could once again this year. Look at him climbing Malagwane, the toughest moment in the race. This is where it gets tough, Mlungisi. And I think for you, this is when you want to test if we've got what it takes as a Maswati to once again win it this year.
No, secretly, I was happy last year. Number 1 and 2 in the 42 were Swazis.
Okay.
So I'm secretly, I'm happy for the internationals to come and join, but secretly, I'm rooting for the home team. I wish El Swati to win again, win first place again, yeah.
Beautiful. This is from last year's edition. Of course, once again, emphasizing the importance of this race where Emaswati. The weather condition was perfect. Everything was good. So let's wrap up this interview. I know you have to go and rest. You were just going to give us a message. Tell us how we should come on Saturday. Isn't cool, and we should just enjoy the day.
Thank you. If I was to sign off with one message, it would be to encourage our runners to arrive on time.
Okay.
You know, it's disheartening to see a pro athlete arrive late and lose those 10 minutes, you know, and then they end up losing the race, and then they complain that, oh, I was stuck in traffic because I didn't know how to get to the stadium. So we're encouraging everyone, if you are late, be there by 4 a.m.
Okay.
Start doing your pre-marathon stretches, workout, and then get ready to get to the starting point and start. So 4 a.m., that's your being late. Because the police will close the road, number 1, and then there's a traffic jam. And no one wants to give up their spot, so no one will let you pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to observe the parking, also area. Thank you very much, Mlungisi, and I do hope that we do enjoy Saturday. We get a chance to talk to you after the race on Saturday, just to hear the feel and how the race did go on that day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Of course, on behalf of the NPF, the organization that is in charge of the race, he's, quite, in trust that they would deliver one of the best races that we've seen in the past. Remember, this is the 7th edition, and talk about one of the biggest events, not only in the country, in the region, and talk about on the African continent. We've got more than 300 athletes that have actually registered for the biggest marathon, which is the 42-kilometer category. So you can imagine how far we've grown as a country. But it says a lot. It goes with the name, Imbube Marathon. We take a short break, brother. When we come back, we do have the Swatini Basketball Association, where in the studio we just look at the recent workshop where they were just, trying to, capacitate different coaches under the Swatini Boxing Association. After this.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds, full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, to feel the rush of life overwhelm you, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. You ask, and we give you the royal experience. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. There are but a few places on earth so special, so unique, and so spectacular, where it becomes the rite of passage for the ambitious travelers, the courageous souls, to all have the one and only royal experience. That day when you look deep into your heart and leap into an ancient world so very different from your own, where magic, beauty, and love are shared forever. Then you will have a whole experience. There is just one place on earth where the people make you feel a part of their kingdom, where you just might volunteer to awaken spirits, enrich minds, and work alongside communities to build, motivate, and inspire. This is truly the royal experience. When you dream different world, beyond the ordinary, beyond time. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Now, once again, we still live the Thursday edition of Temidlalo. We're talking about sporting activities that are making headlines in the country. This past weekend, the Eswatini Basketball Association were just having their workshop, capacitating different coaches where it was a chance for them just to upgrade their level where they are. We've got a member of the association in the studio just to talk about what the workshop was all about. Kwahamba njani? Engabe lokutsiba abafundzisa, what's the next stage? Bayanda is in the studio. Bayanda, once again, treasurer. He looks like he's the treasurer. You know the treasurer. So the account is with him. So treasurer Sikufusele, once again, Bayanda, it's good to have you in the studio.
All right, good evening.
It's a good one, yeah. Bayanda, there was an instructor or facilitator from all the way from Cameroon over the weekend, capacitating 15 coaches.
Yes.
Okay, now, what level are we talking about? Were you capacitating them to what level now? Are we saying a level 1, level 2? Are they now semi-professional? Are they professional? Where are they now in terms of them being coaches in the basketball industry?
All right. So the course that we were doing was it's called the FIBA WAPC Level 1 coaching. It is the entry-level coaching recognized by FIBA, where you now qualify as a junior basketball coach anywhere in the world.
True.
So you were able to work as an assistant to any other junior coach anywhere in the world. And that is what we wanted to do as an association. Give a level 1, an entry-level coaching certification that our coaches can say we are recognized internationally.
Okay. So after this certificate, like you said, with the level of knowledge you have, you can go all the way and just coach even a team outside the country.
Yes, it's the minimum requirement for doing that anywhere else. And then you can upgrade as you want to go higher in your coaching career, level 2, level 3, and so on. But this one already gets you started anyway.
Okay, you gathered 15 coaches, that's impressive. But let's talk about your selection criteria. Did you just choose the just by basically picking numbers, or you knew the type of and the group of coaches that you wanted that needed to go through that course?
Right. So this whole started thing last year where we had a coaching facilitator from South Africa as well.
Okay.
And from that course, he was able to recommend a few coaches to do this level 1 coaching. So that was our start point where we were able to gather some of those coaches.
Okay.
And then we also added a few what we call senior coaches in the country because this was a very intense course. So it required people with basketball knowledge that was active. So we took some of the senior coaches as well and we meshed all of them together to form the 15 that we have now.
Yes. And I think when I paid a visit, during the course, I noticed that not only were you having a theory session, but you also had some practicals at Mavuso where you wanted even to see now when it gets to the real deal, can they handle the situation? And let's talk about the man who was facilitating this workshop in terms of his knowledge as a FIBA instructor. How good is he, and how well instructed is he personally as a human being?
So Coach Lazare is an Cameroonian American coach. He's coached the Cameroonian national team. He's coached Petro Luanda in Angola and won the Angolan championship twice. He's also won the FIBA African Champions Cup as well. So he's a very well decorated coach in the region, which is why FIBA recommended him to facilitate this course for us.
We want to know if this is the end of it. Now, you've taken them to level 1. Maybe someone asking themselves, is it done? Do you see them getting to level 2 or level 3? What's the next stage? Can they now further applications outside the country? There are clubs who could be looking for coaches. Is it the time with what they've got in terms of certificates?
Okay, so for starters, they haven't gotten the results from the coaching facility yet.
Okay.
So FIBA usually releases that a few weeks or even a month later. So that's when we are going to see how well they've done in the course and how many of them actually qualified to get the certificate. And then from there on, we're going to look to develop those coaches further And those who didn't get a chance to pass will get the next round of the same course to make sure we get them all at the same baseline. So what we're trying to do is make sure that our coaches can develop our sport in the country. So as much as we can stop them from going outside, but what we're trying to do is focus on them developing the sport in the country, so we develop it very well.
Okay, some familiar faces, of course, the likes of Andy, they've got academies, you know, and I think that's the men we're referring to, the Cameroonian. And then I think I like the mixture. You did have male coaches and female coaches, so you're promoting both sides of gender.
Yes, so we've always been that. I mean, we do have a portfolio that tries to push the gender equity part as well. So we're always trying to do that, to develop them as much as possible. And it's a very tough part, like developing players and female coaches, but we are actively trying to do it as well.
Tell me about this guy who also paid a visit. I don't know if there's anything you can say about him. I think when I got there, I think he probably is from the United States. Apart from the, you know, the facilitator, which I saw, but there's another guest who was there. I think he was trying to encourage also the coaches. But then, so now, maybe let's say, are you going to get a chance to expose them now to some international assignments after this? I mean, I wouldn't want to have a paper, just sit at home with it to say I'm qualified. But that's the man I'm referring to. You know, so I think when we were speaking to them, he seemed to have more knowledge in terms of the NBA, you know, participation and competition. So this is the exposure that you want for the coaches.
Yes, we definitely want our coaches to get as much knowledge as possible. So it already happens sometimes where we have, through Dunklin Academy, that brings in coaches from the US sometimes to help.
Which is in this case the same, yeah.
Yes, so we do have that, and we try and expose as much as possible. Sometimes we send our players and coaches to camps. Recently, we had our head of coaching go for a conference in Algeria. So we do try to expose them as much as possible so that they can bring back the knowledge. But like I said, our main intention is to develop them. So that we want them to get as much as possible, then come back and develop our coaches here. We're trying to create a coaches commission that will help train other coaches as well. So like I said, we had 15 coaches in this, but we need to have more coaches in the country. So if these ones are now qualified to actually help these ones get to the same level that they are, then we can say, let's say we've done a good job.
So this paper that they are getting right here, what's the certificate for? Is it participation certificate?
That part was participation.
Okay.
But then they're going to get the results of the actual training or of the actual course later, because like it's a very grueling course. So the coach was mentioning just how grueling it is, and that how sometimes only half the class usually passes based on his knowledge. So as much as they've participated and have gathered a lot from it, but we're still going to see how well they've done in terms of the actual results.
Okay, how long will it take for them to get the actual results of how well they have done?
I think we're expecting FIBA to do that within a month or so.
Okay.
Yes.
We will get levels to say distinction, satisfaction, or failed? Or, so,
I think it's mostly a pass or fail thing, that you now qualify for this level or you did not qualify for that level one.
All right. I want us to round up this interview, Bayanda, but I want to ask you a question as a treasurer of the organization. Quick one. There's still an issue of league sponsorship.
Yes.
And as a treasurer, you go out there whenever there are discussions. Can we expect the league? I don't want to put you in a position where to say, yes, we can expect, but are you cooking something?
We've been trying to cook something. We've established a league committee that will work on running the league.
Okay.
But like you said, the sponsorship is a very big deal because it is very costly running a league. I mean, from the venues and just general running costs are very high. So we're trying to find ways of making them a little more affordable, like using freer venues and those kind of things. But yeah, we're definitely cooking something.
So when can we, just projection-wise, when can we expect the return of the Eswatini Basketball League?
Unfortunately, I think it's unfortunate that I don't have my head of competition here, because that is more on his portfolio.
But yeah.
But he was looking at something where by January we should be trying to be starting something.
You've heard it for yourself. By January next year, new things, new image. well capacitated. That's all about the Eswatini Basketball Association. Brenda, thank you very much for your time. And I love the fact that you are just giving us that confidence that come January, the Eswatini Basketball Association will once again have a running league where we can see once again the talent that we possess as a country. Otherwise, that was a workshop where coaches, 15 coaches locally, were being capacitated on different rules and how the sport is more played at FIBA level, and more results, of course, to be released at some point stage. Now, shortly we'll be welcoming our in-house analyst, that is Linda Dlamini, just to look at the sporting activities mostly to come this coming weekend. But what about some of the activities that took place this past weekend with Just From? Let's take a look at how the story unfolded in different facilities and different venues within the country with this just short insert.
Impelasonto lephelile ibonelo yolwake watvuma emdlalweni wematubane even laseningizimu Afrika Akhani Simbine avakashela live laseSwatini ngekucelwa umngani wakhe lanaye lowake watvuma kuleli kutemidlalo Sibusiso Swazibolt Mathenjwa lokwanyalo angusihlalo wenhlangano ye-Athletics Commission kuleli. Ekufikeni kwakhe kuleli Simbine ube netinkhulumo netingijimi letingaphansi kwayo i-Athletics Association ngekubafundzisa aphindze abakhutsate ukuthi yini lengabasita ekuthenini bebe kangcono kule midlalo lehlukahlukene labayendako. Kube injabulo lenkhulu kumengameli wenhlangano yema-Commonwealth kanye nema-Olympics kuleli Adam Bomba Mtsetfa lena naye bekakhona. Simbine ngekuba khona uthi-ke la kuleli uyalithanza sibili uphindze washiya ticatfulo lake agijima ngato emidlalweni yema-Olympics edolobheni leParis ngomnyaka lophelile ngesikhathi yathola imendlela yelithunsi kule midlalo. Simbini wachaza ukuthi luhambo lwakhe lekuyindlela yokukhutsata tingijimi takuleli kanti-ke yena mengameli wenhlangano yema-Olympics kuleli Mtsetfa uthi luhambo lwakhe luhambisana nebudlelwane lobukhona emkhatsini kwalamavele amabili. Kule tingijimi atiwuvali umlomo njengoba tithi tifunze lokunyenti.
Mina bengifuna ukubonga. I think the big thing of being here was to also inspire, not just inspire abantu base South Africa, but to inspire people that are also close to SA, and Sbu was my ex-training partner, and he's the one that asked me to come, and I said yes, and I'm just happy to be able to come and just talk to the next generation and inspire the next generation. I'm an athlete, want to learn, they want to feed from us that are doing it and see us. I think it's important that Tina, as professional athletes, take this status off and just talk to people, because that is inspiring, that is motivating, and I think it falls back to why I'm here and why I decided to come here. I think it's also something I said inside there was that I made a contract with myself. I made an agreement with myself, but at the same time, I also wanted to achieve. I also wanted to do better and be better, and I saw every day as an opportunity to do that. I was telling one of the guys now that the world is always going to spin. The sun is always going to come up, and the moon is always going to come up and down. But we are part of it, and we should always, when the sun comes up, decide that we are also coming up and stepping up to the day and doing what we need to do and achieving the goals for the day that we need to achieve.
Again, welcome to the Swatini. As a Swatini Olympic Committee, we've got a cooperation, strategic cooperation, working relationship with SASCOC. And among other things that are in this cooperation agreement is that we have to share our experiences, share our ideas for the benefit of our athletes. And when we're told by the chairman of the Athletes Commission that Simbine has been invited to be part of this and say something to you.
I think our athletes got empowered and motivated. I think also the babe-inspired bajabule kakhulu ukubona Simbini ngibambona agijima lena wina amamedali and bakhonile ukumbuta ama-question ukuthi bekenda kanjani yena wenda ngani. I think ubasherishere cishe konke lelo bafisa ukuva kuye ngiyacabanga nabo batagcina banjengaye in the near future.
What I learned today is about time management, how we used to manage his time as a student athlete. Yeah, and I was inspired now. Sometimes you have to lose something in order to gain something.
Loko sithe kakhulu nje ukuthi simotivate ngakani Simbini lo soke waba ne-experience yegijimo khona nekufunza ukuthi uphumelele kanjani yena nathi sitawukhona kuhambe ne-talent yakhe.
Impela ngifunze namhla ukuthi sima-athletic kumele sinakekele ekudleni esikudlako singadli abekini lokufaka ikhathi like ijunk. Yes, saphinde-ke akane Simbini wasifundisa ukuthi during the moment uyaba ne-breaking point wabe sesikhombisa ukuthi utheklisha kanjani team wethu fana njengalehla ndlula kithi. So nami kungikhuthathile ukuthi ngathi ukuthi nangifika kuleso sigaba leso ngabe sengisekha iheple kanjani.
Ngakulokunye inhlangano ledlalisa umdlalo wekubhukusha kuleli i-Eswatini Swimming Association kuthe kule mpelasonto yabamba umqhudelwano lowatiwa nge-swimming gala level 1 competition. Kanti-ke umphathi walenhlangano noZipho Mahlalela uthi lo msebenzi lowendiwe kuleli hlangano yama-Zone 4 Aquatics ubakhuthathe kakhulu ukuthi bachubeke netinhlelo tekuthuthukisa abadlali labasesebancane.
Okay, namuhla sihoste igala ya level 1. So as a federation, it's na 3 levels. Kuna level 0, which is our developmental gala. Then we've got level 1, which is le gala ya namuhla, where my swimmers that are hoping to qualify for level 2. Level 2 is our allied swimmers and our swimmers that are the ones that are representing us at national championships and outside the country. So this level 1 gala yalama swimmers lafise ukuthi qualify for level 2. So singasho mabom ukuthi ma level 2 qualifiers. Tikhathi tabo tiyajabulisa kwatise ngokuthi igala yecala kule season. We are hoping lokuthi bakhona labatawunyukela ku level 2 kule gala lena. However, understand naloko ukuthi bamfana bacetha kuyele swimming pool. So it's just an opportunity for them ukuthi batibuke tikhathi tabo ukuthi bamepi ngoba sidaba na 4 galas a level 1 that yaba ma opportunity for them ukuthi ba qualify for national.
Ngakulokunye inhlangano yemidlalo yematubane kuleli ikhuthata bumcokwa imphindze-ke ikukhanza kumcoka kufundisa abaceceshi balomdlalo ngetindlela tekucwephesha tekubuka sikhathi tetingijimi ngesikhathi tichudzelana lokwatiwa ngekuthi electronics timing. Thoba Mazibuko lowake wasebentela lenhlangano lofundisa labaceceshi ochazile ukuthi sikhona sidingo sokuthi labaceceshi basebenzise le ndlela lensha.
Athletics Eswatini ufuna ku increase le pool ma electronic timers so that dokukhonakala ukuthi babe baningi bakhona ukubambisana whenever there is a competition ikhona ukutimela kahle. Since the equipment is here ukahle ukuthi we have a large pool.
Itangisita for ku improve i-officiation yami futhi nekuthi even contribution angibuyela emva eclubini ngalo sendabe sekunalelwadi.
Ngumcoka kakhulu ukuthi basifundise because solo saqala kufunda like bese kushoda ukuthi sale sadinga electronic timer because konke lokho sakufunda and already have the certificate akho.
Akulokunye lokwenteke kule mpelasonto lephelile kufaka ekhathi inhlangano yemidlalo wehockey ngokusebenzisana netikolo letitimele takuleli labachubeke nekubamba umqhudelwano waletikolwa enjabulweni kaManzini. Kanti-ke imidlalo ye-netball league ngaphansi kwenhlangano yemidlalo ye-netball league kuleli kubo babe kanye nabomake ichubekile nanayo lapho khona lizinga lekuchudzelana lichubeka nekuphakama.
Now, once again, those are some of the activities that took center stage over the weekend. But now we're heading to another bumper weekend. That is the Imbobe Marathon. That is the CAF Champions League. When Singizini, they have got a huge game against Simba SSC from Tanzania. Coming in news, breaking news is that Simba, they have already landed in the kingdom of Eswatini. So if you're waiting to see them tomorrow, you're too late. They're just in the same area, breathing the same air you're breathing right here in the kingdom. And of course, we'll talk about that and the M10 Premier League games that will be played this weekend. Our in-house analyst Ndla Dlamini is in the house. Sikuvusele once again.
Sibalwami ngiyabonga. Ngiyakuthola ukhulumvusela umbukelo weSwatini TV loyal viewer. Sokukhuluma ngondzaba ukuthi isimba seyivele ila seyivele ikanexile la iyo lala khona khona lambabane. But I think lamanye ama officials itolo ngeke ngazama ngwabonile nangithi zama ukuthola ama interviews babaleka besimba
sabafele bala
le lamanye ama officials beka khona last weekend insizini nayodlala nayidlala neMbabana Highlanders lapho khona bebareste ama players incumbe beMbabana ebensingizini. So I think basikhombisa ukuthi nawukhuluma ngeprofessional team ukhuluma ngeteam le kanjani preparations nekuthi badlali bafike early for a big game.
Let's talk about this game. Since we're already talking about it, we'll get it to other activities. Master, when you're a team like, Msingizini, you've got a couple of players maybe from the national team. You've got players who play the M10 Premier League. You've got players who are from playing that game, also from Simba. But then, what are the chances? Where can they say they've got what it takes, Master? Come Sunday, they need to win this game. Because remember, they need to maximize ukuthi badlala ekhaya kuqala before for the second leg.
Uyati ukuthi Fabrice letinye tinto na ukhuluma ngengudle yesiveka somhlolo ngibani laba ngicabanga ukuthi isihlango singalida nga2 amagoli Angola first 15 minutes second half yes ungakhuluma kwendeka lokwendekako ngibani laba ngicabanga lokho ngibani laba ngicabanga ukuthi iRoyal Leopard ngashaya the vets ngalesa sikhathi lesa icoach Kevin Hunt ishaya 3-0 la somhlolo. So I think for Insingizini North Spurs they have players like capable, they have lengasho ukuthi the right personnel ukuthi bangayishaya isimba. It's all in the mindset because the mindset le club, not only the team, because now ukhuluma nge-club ukhuluma ngebaphathi, the officials, ukhuluma ngema-fans, ukhuluma ngema-players, the technical bench, ukhuluma ngale club. Now ukhuluma ngale team, Msingizini team, ukhuluma ngale badlali, ukhuluma nange-technical bench. So I think wonke move, the atmosphere ecanga ukuthi ishintshe kasomhlolo ibe ngilenye lesingazange sesiyibona. I think sine challenge Fabrice yekungakhona intimidator ema opponents. It's
sorry to cut you. Intimidate kanjani Master? If we're saying this Simba team that is already here, there are players from the national team, which is the Harambee Stars of Tanzania. There are players from DRC. Some have been exposed to TP Mazembe. There are players from the likes of countries like Kenya. What are we saying? This is exposure for them. Then for us, how many internationals do we have that have been exposed to such competitions?
I can name them. You have Bogwake, you have Botaika, you have Bo Kingsley, you have Kanyakezwe, you have Bokadlela, you have
kudlala ngaphandle Master for 3 or 5 years ubuye
ngisho nakudlala ngaphandle ku-national team nakudlala ngaphandle ku-Champions League.
Master, uthi CAF kuna category A of teams, category B of team na category C. Na ukhuluma ngabo Simba baku category B kahle kahle because category A
inabo Al Ahly, Mamelodi Sundowns, Raja Casablanca, Pyramids.
Yes, Zamalek, Saint Alger. Those West African teams. Ashanti Kotoko, where the likes of
Seasuwa category A.
Yes. So category B inabo Orlando Pirates, inabo Simba, inabo TP Mazembe. That's a level. Category C kenyalo. Angathi noma Insingizini lapho ku C ngoba iSwallows beyikhona lapho ku C kathini.
I think Fabrice ibhola ihamba kanje. Ungadlala na category A uyithole result. You remember sihlangu back in 2016 nazidlala neNigeria. Bese category C, was it C or C. In Nigeria category A. But sayithole result la ekhaya kasomhlolo inale away kwaba nalama mistakes nje lamancane defense la salimala khona. So for Insingizini North Spurs to beat, because mina ngikhuluma ngedraw because if usahamba nale mentality draw ekhaya then away eTanzania sila in, but if lakhaya sitawukhona ukuthi sishaye 2 goals bangakori then away sesihamba siyothola idraw.
Masengivanga it's more it's not only in Nsingizini Hotspur's game, it's Eswatini. Eswatini versus Tanzania.
That's why ngithi C
because this is their best team in the land in Tanzania. It's our best team. Yes, Bo Azam bakhona, but Simba currently is at the top.
Itolo ngibena about almost 2 hours with CEO wa Football Association. Uyade Fabrice ukuthi ukhuluma yes mhlambe setinaka letinye 13 but uyakhumbula ngesikhathi sihlangu sisenda ngasidlala ngcono.
2013 to 2016.
Supposed qualified kuya AFCON. Yes, the period from 2013 lomshoko to 2018. 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Bekune teams, bekune Royal Leopard.
Number 1 Solos.
Number 1 Solos. Young Buffaloes. Mbabana Highlanders almost won the league in 2016 season. They almost won the league.
Okay, let's believe. Yeah, I remember the blunder with Bad Boys. Yes, I remember. Yes,
but teams.
Did they have players for the national team? Choco. How many players were there? Okay, let me hear your point.
I mean, the league being 4 to 5 teams. Very, very competitive. Very, very competitive. Then Africa, Royal Leopard. Nkuluma kuti at some point they shaya vets. Imba unasolo ziyafika kuma group stages. Iminyaka ilandzelana. Yabona bahamba 2 seasons bangadliwa. So lama teams lawo lokuthi adlale kahle ngiwo labebese abanemthelela ekhethelweni lesive. That's why ngithi nangikhuluma ngeNsingizini, nangikhuluma ngeRoyal Leopard, ngikhuluma ngabo-C because inyalo akusashiwo. Uyabona nje ithite nayisuka isimba ekhaya, ithite siye eSwatini. Ayikasho ukuthi siya eNsingizini, sithite siye eSwatini. Noma kungenteka ini namuhla inakhuza iNsingizini nayingashaya isimba. Ungawubona ama-international media ukuthi bangathini. Bangathi iNsingizini of eSwatini. So lenvo inkulu kangako Fabrice. I think njoba ngikhuluma intimidator ema opponents siyakudzinga lokho. I still remember Orlando Pirates ehamba eLubumbashi eDRC. Bafika lapha every fan, every corner beba intimidator ma fans. Yes, Orlando Pirates egcina leyo game leyo thanks to Senzo Meyiwa. May soul rest in peace. We need that mentality.
Now, prior to that, we do have other envoys already. Mariam Union from DRC are hosting Royal Leopard in DRC Master. I think for me, I would say Leopard sengasho ukuthi luhambo lwabo lungcono, lo msebenzi wabo taba ngcono compared to lo msebenzi obhekene neNsingizini. I think this is their previous game, in the preliminary stage. Bona sebavele base DRC Master. The away game, then the final game they play at home. Do they stand a chance? Can they do what they want? Bayabatsina abanye i-Confederation, i-Europa ye-Africa lena.
Yeah, very confederation ingaphasi in the Champions League, but I think Fabrice i-Royal Leopard ibe nenhlanhla lokuthi icale away. Ngithi according to mine kune advantage kucala away than kucala ekhaya. Why kuyi-advantage icala away? If i-Royal Leopard ingahamba Congo, ifike ithole i-result. So ibafunzile the opponents understand ukuthi kusho kuthini nale result itanje ekhaya, the opponents are so frustrated and akusimdlalo wekudlala ku-artificial turf. I think lokunye nje vele ngicabanga ukuthi lokunale factor lengihlale sikhuluma ngayo kakhulu ngile artificial turf. Sibonile ukuthi iCape Verde ku-national team sihlangu sihambile sawudlala away artificial turf. Kwakhaza ukuthi labamvu bayitayele kusekhaya kubo. So I think tonke letinvo leto Royal Leopard ihambile nabo sibafisela inhlanhla because njoba sisho nje ukuthi iRoyal Leopard ayikaze yafika ama-group stages. Iyadzinga ukuthi this year ifike kuma-group stages, neNsingizini ifike kuma-group stages for ukuthi le bhola yethu itawukhula because seyehlile.
One of the team with players most in form locally, Boma Sangane and the likes of Junior Form playing for Sihlangu Semnigati and CAF games, and the league is started already. But on the other side in DRC, knowing the current situation, the political tension taking place in DRC, Master, Soroguti League, and then what are we saying about the Union side? Can they play this game and get something against the so much informed Leopard side? In DRC, the league hasn't started.
Fabrice yathi kusenawudlala nemumvu lo ngadlali e-league kokabili because libona beta kule game yenu ba motivated bafuna ukuthi baqale kahle ama games abo idlalile yona I think against ibadlale yini game nangikhumbula kahle but not e-league. So nawudlala nalama teams lawo le tempo yakho iba nalama ihamba njengeligagazi. Kukhona lani bakhama khona nendele kutsini nendele ukuthi batawuva le tempo ukuthi isetulu kakhulu because bona ema fitness level abo aphasi kakhulu. Once ema fitness level abaphasi kakhulu, the concentrations the lapses in concentrations ataba khona. So uyadzinga lokuthi vele uyenyuse le tempo. I hope bo Dennis ba itrainile i-team i-Royal Leopard enough including nabo bo coach bo Edwin nabo Fash assistant coach ukuthi these guys bo Junior Makagula bakhona ukuthi la ku field, the speed, the ball circulation, like at midfield, it's on point.
Now, with the two teams now on CAF, CAF duties, we do have the remaining teams under the M10 Premier League. They will have to be in action as we are from the FIFA week now, entering the match week 2 of the M10 Premier League. A bumper fixture, master. Talking about some of the big games to expect. Look at the fixture in blue. Yes, Swallows against Celtics, but look at Buffaloes, Pirates. And history in this game, mostly on Pirates game. If for the past 3 or 4 years, remember, there are days where Pirates were able to shock young Buffaloes.
Tell you what, Imbabana Swallows are Tabankulu Celtics.
Yes.
They played against them 2 years ago. Kungwenyama Cup. Lapho khona Felix alimala the shoulder. You remember the shoulder injury? Almost 8 months. Wayithola adlala against Tabankulu Celtics. So this game, I think Imbabane Swallows and the winning Tabankulu Celtics first game shot 3 goals. So
they are number 1 on the log.
Bang number 1 kulok aksio easy team and Imbabane Swallows. All these stories letikona kule team, I think outsing ititori now udlala ne Tabankulu Celtics because they are a stronger side. Young Buffaloes versus Monen Pirates, I think nayo le game leyo tough kakhulu. Monen Pirates i-team lengasho ukuthi whenever idlala ne-Young Buffaloes bayiletha i-game yabo and being Mwase playing that type of football, I think utai frustrate i-Young Buffaloes. The Young Buffaloes, they want to bounce back kule season lena bawine i-league, bawine lokungenani noma lokungenani babe top 2 because last season abakhona ukuthi bangene top 2 because beku ne-Leopard nesingizini.
All right, Master, what a weekend we have in store. Thank you very much for your presence. I know there's no rest, but what a weekend as we leave.
What a weekend, what a weekend. Ngwenyama Cup njoba sito umsakate swati TV. Imbobe marathon imsakate swati TV utabusakata bukhoma. Then Sunday insingizini not Spurs versus Simba umsakate swati TV utaba
even the game is live on Swati TV. So you don't have to go leave the house. Akucishe ama DStv this weekend.
Kude kupumula Fabrice ak DStv phela khona Swati TV. So
there's nothing.
Yeah, now Skuchana, vele stick to Skuchana. Okay. Now na YouTube, stick to YouTube. Now na DStv, Swatini, multi-choice, Swatini. You stick logo.
Yeah, there is Zimbabwe Marathon on Saturday, early as 5 in the morning, and on Sunday, later on Sunday at the afternoon from 2 p.m. going above Tsigizini, take on Simba, and those two big action are live here on Swatini TV. Until we meet again on Friday and on Saturday, rather on Sunday, for other different sporting codes. Our in-house analyst in Lamini, the entire sports team that brought you this program, we do say we are in for a good weekend and don't miss this special occasion.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
aba research bafunze. Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
nathi kufuna sente